Today we have 2019 Honda Ridgeline, and we're going to be doing a test fit on the RockyMounts BackStage 2-bike platform rack, which is part number RKY10002. Now right away, one of the features that you might have liked about your Ridgeline is that the tailgate can swing away from the side rather than opening from the top. So if I show you the tilt-away feature of this bike rack, which is just pulling on this latch, we can tilt it away, like so. We do have access to open up our tailgate all the way without it making contact. You can see it comes close, but it doesn't quite make contact with the bike rack. But if we try to use this feature right here where our tailgate can swing away, it's going to make contact right there, and you have a good amount of space to try to get in and grab stuff, but you don't have full access to the bed of your truck. So this bike rack can accommodate for that. We'll go ahead and tilt it back up. We can actually swing it away from the vehicle to gain access and use that feature. We'll just start by loosening up this hand knob right here, which has a bolt inside it. There we go. And then we'll pull this little blue pin right there. We're going to bring it out. And then we're going to swing it this way till it locks, and then open it up all the way. Now with all this space, we can utilize this feature of our Ridgeline. We can open up our tonneau cover, access this compartment right here if we have anything in there, and it's just a lot easier. The one thing you do want to make sure you keep in mind is that the shank is still there and the support that's holding up the bike rack is still there, so you just want to watch your legs. You know, no one wants to hit their shin on that. Now you just got to reverse the process to tilt it back. We're going to bring it this way. We just got to pull this pin again to get it to fold out, and then all the way back in. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that when you're using the tilt-away feature or the swing-away feature, is that you're grabbing the bike rack itself and not any bikes that you could have attached. There we go. Now the bike itself is held in at two different points of contact. We have our strap on the back wheel, securing it onto the back wheel cradle. Then up front, we're going to have this wheel hook that's putting downward force on top of our front wheel, forcing it down into this wheel tray down here. Those 2 points of contact make for a very sturdy fit. It's very tight, it's not going to go anywhere. We'll go ahead and remove it now. We're just going to press in on this blue tab on the other side to remove the strap. You want to make sure you do the strap before you do the hook, because the hook is what's really holding it in place. If we remove the hook, it could still tilt and possibly hit our Ridgeline. So we're going to pull on that blue trigger, lift up on the hook, and then fold it down. Now we can pick it up and remove it. Then when you're done, just to conserve on a little bit of space, put that strap back, fold down the cradle, and then we're going to bring this arm up all the way over to the other side. And I actually like to tuck it under this cradle, because then it can't come up accidentally if you're driving around with it like that. Now I'm going to come over here and grab my tape measure. And make a few measurements. You can travel with the bike rack in its folded down position like this, but something you want to keep in mind is that we've added on from the back of our Ridgeline about 2.5 feet to the back of our vehicle. For our ground clearance, you can see that even though it's a truck, it sits a little bit higher than most cars do. It does have a raise in the shank, so when we get back to the back, we're going to have about 25.5 inches, so about 2 feet of ground clearance. You shouldn't have any troubles with that. And the closest point of our Ridgeline to the bumper is going to be about 7.5 inches, but that's stationary. It's not going to come up and make contact. We can conserve on space that we've added onto the back if you have a tight parking spot or anything like that by pulling on this pin right here and folding it up to the vehicle. Now if we measure again from our bumper to the outside, it's about 1.5 feet we've added on. So that's a good amount of space we've taken off. You want to keep this in mind for any close quarter situations. Our closest point to the vehicle has also changed. You can see these cradles are getting kind of close. They're only about 3 inches away, but if you are right there, you can see when I push it up, it's not going to get any closer to the vehicle. Now let's come down here and take a look at how it connects to our hitch. We have an anti-rattle bolt that when tightened down takes away the shake and play from our bike rack while we're traveling. Then we have a lock on the other side, which is a nice safety device, so no one can remove the bike rack without the key to that lock. That's going to do it for our look at the RockyMounts BackStage 2-bike platform rack on our 2019 Honda Ridgeline.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement.